Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Jenny channel, and today's video is gonna be a speed art and not as the previous speed art videos. I'm gonna do a voiceover. It's not gonna be perfect, but I hope it's clear enough to give you a little bit of my process illustrating this character design. Not character design though, yeah, but you know. Okay, so I'm having a little difficulties right there for moving the layer, so I'm using the layers right there. The first one is for the sketch and the second one is for the vector. And I'm starting my illustration by doing a little bit of tracing by using Bezier tool. So this illustration actually took around 1 hour in total. Okay, so I'm just gonna select random color right there and scale up the opacity. And usually I'm gonna make adjustment for the notes by using edit path by notes. Actually, I'm still not really used to with the Bezier tool. I need to improve more because you know it's actually not really that easy to have smooth illustration. And I usually start my process by sketching using actually traditional medium like book, paper, and pencil, and then I'm gonna scan that. After that, I'm gonna lining the sketches by using Autodesk Sketchbook Mobile. It is completely free, you can try that. And then I'm gonna move the sketch to my laptop and edit that in Inkscape to give color or maybe do the line art. The reason I really like a vector-based program because it is actually you know, like I don't need a pen display to draw stuff. I only need a mouse for that and also a laptop of course. So it is actually cheaper for me, more affordable. Other than that, vector-based program is actually so good if you want to have your artwork to, you know, like not pixelated when you scale it up or scale it down. So the qualities, yeah, I mean like you can keep the qualities okay, but the downside is you don't have that much free, you know, like a free movement or maybe like a free style, like you cannot make any effect. You actually can, but it is really limited compared to what is that called, pixel based program like Photoshop, or as I mentioned before, Autodesk Sketchbook is also a pixel based program. And if you notice, I actually scaled down the opacity of the sketch, and I put that above the vector art, because I want to see it clearly for tracing it. It's actually a new method that I use, and I think it is pretty good for, like, it is very simple for doing tracing rather than the previous method that I use, like aligning. Because the thing about Inkscape is there is no what is that called, shape builder tool that often used in Adobe Illustrator. Actually, there is the alternative for that in Inkscape, but it's not as convenient as the Adobe Illustrator tool. And I found out that there is a way to install the shape builder tool in Inkscape, but I couldn't find any tutorial to install that to my Inkscape. So maybe later on I'm gonna try that out. But for now, I'm just gonna use this. After doing my tracing, I usually tidy up my illustration by using edit pad by notes. And sometimes, like, I couldn't figure out like how to make it better. Like I add notes, I add something, I make it more curved, maybe more pointy. And sometimes I gave up because I couldn't know how to make it better. And then the next day when I open up my illustration again, I know what to do with that. So sometimes it's fine to leave out your illustration as it is, because I mean, it's supposed to be a fun way to make stuff. Like, you don't need to be that much stressed out. Of course, there's exception for that. Like, maybe you do some work for a client, or maybe for an event. So I mean, like, in this case, I do it for fun, so I'm gonna make it as fun as possible for me. And then I'm gonna trace for the tile thing, for the eyebrow, the eyes, the nose, the shadow of the jaw, and everything. So the thing about tracing is actually you need to learn to trust your gut, because sometimes you feel like that doesn't make sense, but when it's done and you edit the path using edit path by notes tool, it is gonna be make sense. For me, the hardest part of doing illustration is deciding the colors that I'm gonna use, like how to give it the mood that I want, and to kind of present what kind of feeling that any audience or someone that gonna look into my illustration how to feel about. And it's actually the most challenging part. Sometimes I'm using color palette, as you know, like my previous artwork. I'm using color palette from colorhunt.com. Sorry, colorhunt.co. No. Yeah, I mean like Color Hunt website. I forgot the domain though. Yeah, and sometimes I still don't really like the color, because it's not about the color palette, it's about me still learning a lot about the color, how to use color and stuff. I mean like we all learn right? And you know, the next hard part about illustration and digital art in general, it is gonna be like giving a proper shadow and highlight. I can do some shadow, but you know, like giving the highlight of my illustration is actually not that easy. And you know, maybe if you have something noisy like that, I'm sorry guys. My room is 25% made of like there are a lot of windows, so I'm sorry if you hear a lot of noises in my videos. I try a lot, I try hard to have it as calm as possible, but you know, I hope someday I have my own studio so I can give you all my best for my videos. Anyway, here I am doing the shadow of the jaw. For the first time, I was confused, like, oh, that doesn't feel right. So I'm deleting much notes right there and doing a little bit of adjustment right there, and then I'm gonna delete the part that I don't want by doing, you know, intersection part. And then for the hand, I'm using the same color as the face. Talking about inspiration, most of the time I actually use like Instagram, Behance, and maybe like Dribble, Pinterest to find the stuff that I want to draw, like some sort of inspiration. And I take like from Illustrator or maybe graphic designer, like a lot of artists actually. And being part of art community is actually pretty awesome because I see less toxicity around art community, which is kind of relieving. And you know, it's nice to have a safe place like this. And other than social media, I actually take inspiration from stuff around me, like maybe from my house, from my experience, from the things around my house, or actually everything that I see or maybe that I feel. And then the last one is from my own imagination, like maybe someday I daydream about walking in a park, and that's actually weird, but you know, I daydream to find any inspiration show, so I do my own thing. And for this illustration, I actually have this inspiration from my own imagination. So I was laying down in my bedroom, and then I think about content for my YouTube, and then I think like girl with having long hair with like taking deep breath or something like that. It's gonna be look good, so I make that. And as you can see right now, it is actually me trying to give highlight to the illustration, but I ended up delete that because it's not that good. So yeah, I still learn a lot for doing highlight and shadow. Maybe one day I can, like maybe one day I'm gonna be able to do stuff like that more confident. So YouTube is actually helping me a lot, like YouTuber that doing art, they are helping me a lot to find inspiration and to figure out how to use a certain tool. And maybe you can check logos by Nick, because he does a lot of tutorial stuff in Inkscape, and he's actually so good in Inkscape and of course in graphic design. He can do illustration, he can do logo, of course, and he explained how to use Inkscape. I learned a lot from him, and maybe I'm gonna link his channel in description box, so you can check him out. So if you are beginner using Inkscape, or maybe you actually use Adobe Illustration and you want to know how to make a certain thing, you actually can check him out. I think he have a channel for Adobe Illustrator too. You can check him out. And for Inkscape, the first time I find Inkscape is because I surfing what vector based program that actually free, and I found Inkscape through Google, and then I try to learn it since it is free, and I am broke, so I don't have any money to like join Adobe family subscription. So it's such a good alternative for what is called Adobe Illustrator. And in one of my videos I actually mentioned that I don't have a good English skill because it is not my first language, and I hope you guys understand. I still try to improve my English, especially my pronunciation and also my vocabularies. I think I need to learn how to use a shortcut for every tools, like how to easily union object or doing intersection or difference, because I keep going back and forth between the object and also the path tool, and sometimes it's pretty not annoying, it's like tiring. Okay, so doing the detail is actually not that hard, but in the same time not that easy, because like it takes a lot to find the detail that what we want to add, what we want to reduce, or maybe what we want to change, because one decision is actually meant a lot for the illustration. And sometimes it's fine if you want to make adjustment later on after you finish the illustration, but the thing about it is, when you want to make an illustration for a client or maybe an event, you gotta make sure that everything is near perfect, like, you know, having good communication with your client and maybe your partner while doing the event is actually pretty good, because you know, like, you need to make sure what they want, and you need to make sure what they need, and of course you want to make sure that the stuff that you give to them is actually good for their promotion. So I guess after giving this background, I'm gonna call it done. Maybe someday I'm gonna give it like a little adjustment, but for now I guess it's enough. So thank you for watching this video, and if you love seeing this type of video, you can actually go to the playlist, and maybe not like this video because it is my first time doing voiceover. Maybe I'm gonna do it more in the future, depending on my free time actually. And thank you guys for watching. I see you guys in the next video.